Hi everyone, something a little bit different today with music elements. Pianos. Let's tune the piano. This is a grand piano. Most of you probably would have seen an upright piano where all of the strings are this way, big timber front on it. This is a grand piano. The lid comes up, of course, to open up to let the sound come out more. The strings run this way, uprights, strings this way. Pretty much everything's the same, like keyboard, the music, everything's all the same. It's just the way the strings are. This part here, music rest, pops up. You've got a few different heights you can set it to, different angles. That's where you put your music book, of course. So sitting here playing away, music sitting there. It's pretty simple. Same as an upright piano. Same as like a digital piano with the music rest, exactly the same thing. Okay, so today we're going to go inside the piano a bit and yeah, I'll just tune a note and show you how that works. It's quite interesting. So let's get rid of this first. This just slides out of the piano. With an upright piano, you lift the lid and you take the front panel out, lift the key cover, which comes off to get access to all the parts inside. Grand piano, it's all just sitting here underneath the music rest. So this just slides out. I'll just get rid of that. And I'll be back. Okay, so here we go. I've taken off the music stand off the top here, and you can see all the pins, tuning pins. Most pianos have 88 keys now. In a piano-sized keyboard, electric pianos can have 76. A keyboard, like the one sitting behind me, they're normally 61. But a piano, 88 keys. There are some pianos, older pianos, that have 85, so they're actually just missing a couple at the top. Apart from that, they're all the same. So tuning pins and strings, of course, on an upright piano being up this way, strings are going down. You can see the strings here are going that way. And these pins are actually sitting along the top part of the upright piano. This is a grand, so it's a bit different. So you can hear this particular note. You see how to tune, you can hear it zzz, like, compared to all the others are great. You can hear that one's like a honky tonk, it's a bit out. Okay, so what we do is we need to tune the note. Okay, from the top of the piano coming down, it's all straight wire, like straight metal strings. Okay, you can probably see these gold ones over here, and certainly see them sitting over the back there where they run right down to the bottom end of the piano. They're a wound string, so it's still basically like this bit of wire is here, except they're brass or copper wound strings which run all the way down. So each note up in this section has 3 strings per note. So to hear that sound, you're actually hearing 3 strings all tuned together, creating that sound. Once you go down a little bit further, down here, to the wound strings, they're in sets of 2. And then, of course, that's for that. You can hear the slight break there. I can hear it, where it changes from a wound string to just a straight string. And then, of course, down here, it's just one big, thick string that's running down there for all the bass notes. Okay, so tuning sets of 3 up here from where the break is up to the top. So we've got a note that sounds really out. So what we've got to do is tune the 3 strings to get them all the same. I've already done 2, so there's 1 string that's not quite right. So we use these little guys, a mute, to actually poke down in between strings to stop them from vibrating. Just like you'd put your finger on guitar strings, like you strum it, put your hand on it, they stop. So now you can only hear, and that probably sounds okay, but when you hear it with the other string, it's not so good. So we'll just mute the others. How do we know when we get things in tune? This is a tuning fork. This particular one is set for A440. Concert pitch, which is what that A there is. It should be set at concert pitch. You tap it, and I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear this. I'll tap it again. I'm not sure if you can pick up the sound, but it's actually vibrates and makes a hum. Hum. Boom, right there at A440. Boom, there it is there. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so what we're going to do is make sure that note, which is not exactly the same, you've got to try and keep that note in your head, keep the idea of that note. And can you hear it changing now? What I'm doing is with a special tool, tightening or loosening the tuning pins. I'm actually, like a guitar, turning the machine heads to tune, tighten or string. Same thing here. And now when I take the mutes out, you can hear that's perfectly in tune. If you play with another A, and there we go. Special tool for tuning pianos. I've got a few different ones, only with different handles. And I'm in the process of making a few of my own with different types of wood here that we've had from trees and things around. But you can see the tip. I can get that close to the camera. It's not like a socket that you'd use on a car engine or something like that. Far from it. Yeah, it's a special tool, and the heads come off, now the screw come off, and there's different size, a few different sizes too, for different types of pianos and different ages of pianos. All the piano tuning pins pretty much over the last 30 years or so, or more, are all the same now. So that's it. That's a simple guide to just tuning, that's only one string. If you think that's easy, it's far from it. You've got to use your ear to go through all the different pitch ranges from the tuning pin, the tuning fork, and the sound it hums and makes. And then you normally repeat the process about 220 times because there's that many strings and pins, as you can see, all the way here, all the way up. And then there's this set, and another set higher up for treble, which I'll just move the camera down and you can see. There's a lot in there. And you repeat the process about 220 times until everything's perfectly in tune. It can take 2 hours, it could take 3 hours. Depends how far out of tune, how badly the piano has been maintained and looked after. It can take an hour if the piano's pretty good and has been recently tuned. So yeah, it's how long's a piece of string? It can take an hour, it could take 3 hours. You might find that just a lot of older pianos are untunable, like then they're not worth really repairing or doing anything with. But yeah, so that's, I hope you found the video interesting on how piano works, piano tuning pins, strings, that way on a grand, up that way on an upright. Sounds good.